Hey everyone, this is Louis7 and I am streaming the Lord of the Rings online, and today I'm going to be doing some Ill Omens Skirmishes with my kinship on Anor. And I believe we will, actually it looks like we will be doing the raid versions. I was thinking we'd do the 6-man fellowship versions, but I guess we have enough to be in a raid because I am in a raid group right now. And the good news is this time I actually can do these skirmishes. Confirmed ahead of time that these are skirmishes I have unlocked. These are ones actually everybody has unlocked today. So we only need to complete 4 of 5 of these for the Ill Omens. And just so everybody knows, as usual, the kin chat will be on Discord and my headphones, but you all will hear the in-game audio in the background, of course, other than my voice. But also to let you all know, I made a minor change to my microphone. I put a little windscreen cover foam type thing on top of it, so if the audio is different, like worse or better, do let me know, but hopefully it makes it a little bit better. I think it should cut out maybe my breathing noise that y'all can hear and some little pops. My mouth likes to click a lot, I notice, and especially when it's dry, which oddly when I drink more water during streams that happens. But I'm going to go ahead and connect to the kin. And I think we are just basically waiting for these skirmishes to boot up. So one thing I thought I could do during downtime today is I should work on unlocking the Moria skirmishes. I'm not a fan of having to do that, but it is something that I decided would be good to slowly at least build up and start doing on this character. So I will start looking for that, or start progressing on that rather. And I actually do have one minor update, as you all probably know. Let's see, I'm changing, or not changing, but looking at a couple things here, just because I know I have issues with streams that I want to make sure everything is actually working right here, because YouTube is giving me little warning messages as usual, it seems like. Okay, it looks like everything is all good there. But anyway, what was I going on about? Yeah, so one minor update. As you all know, I am getting a webcam. Not like just a maybe, but I am. And that will hopefully, I hope to have a video on that on Friday. I have no guarantees on that, but that is the hope right now. Just so you all have an estimated date. And it looks like we are searching for more people. We have 7 people, I guess, from the kin, and then we'll fill with 5 random pug people. So what I can do in the meantime is I have to talk to Bozy. I don't remember Bozy. He's in Durin's Way. Okay, Chamber of the Crossroads. So I'm going to start this. And hello, Vulgar TG. You said you're glad to catch the stream, and I'm glad you're able to catch it as well. On my inventory, the good thing I guess about skirmishes is I won't get much loot, if you can consider that a good thing, but my inventory is super full on this character. Another goal I wouldn't mind having at least is to clean out this character's inventory.
The shadow of Mordor will not long fill the halls of Khazad-dûm.
Yeah, I hear people actually in my kin Discord, they're talking about the power outages. I think mostly Texas is where there are current power outages. Maybe some people in the kin have had issues with that. Hello, Wizco, and it is no problem if you bombard me with questions. That is what I like about streams, actually.
I hope we have done enough, friend.
Let's see, I have no idea why I'm actually looking at this armor as if it would be an upgrade. I guess it's a force of habit when doing a quest. I'm guessing I should go ahead and enter. It sounds like they're getting started here. Are we going to fill the group first, or are we starting with 8? Okay. I'm slowly working on unlocking the Moria skirmishes, so I was doing that while waiting. I need to turn my audio down. But yeah, Wizco, as far as the question goes, that is definitely no problem. I have done Moria, but have not done the book quest to unlock the skirmishes yet. those are really hard for me to do. I think I did them once way back in the day, and that was basically it. Alright, I think this character, I'm just on like book 4, so I don't know how that it should be that much longer that I have left with those. So my character's outfit here, this is still one of the awkward things with streaming, is when I'm talking to people in Discord and I have like my push to talk, you all can't, there's no like indication on the stream, I guess, that I am talking through Discord when you all can't hear that. But as far as this skirmish goes, I really don't feel like this is a good outfit. I really like this outfit, but it doesn't fit the skirmish. I guess I'm in the mood for this outfit. This one's not even bad for this area. I almost feel like this was a discussion from earlier whenever I've just had a little bit. Accidentally hit escape when they did the ready check. I'm probably going to pull aggro because that is what this character likes to do. Looks like we have another... Oh no, I was going to say we have another Warden because there's a lot of bleeds and I haven't done bleeds, but I actually had a little moment. I should not have used resolution, that is not good. But the bleeds are from Shatter Javelins. I have no idea why they're all using yellow there. Hello Maluthor, Gas Monkey GR, and Riff Magos as well. And I agree with Riff, Wardens for the win. See, I don't even know what to use. These short fights like that are just always super awkward on the Warden though, at least for me. I believe, I don't know, I guess I will keep this flag since nobody else is wanting to. So we have Courage Breaker and Raging Marauder here. Oh, it sounds like the Courage Breakers might reflect, which is not a good thing for me. I have had, whenever we've done skirmishes on this character, or even my Runekeeper maybe, but mainly this character, because a lot of the damage over time stuff, ooh, I'm in melee stance, I am in melee stance, a lot of the damage over time stuff, if they put a reflect buff up in the middle of the fight and you already have a lot of dots on, they just like totally reflect on you. I don't know that that was a reflect that killed me. No, it looks like I was taking regular hits, I didn't even see what it was, but I saw I got a 24k crit on me. And hello, Very Yuda, you asked, you're looking to get into the tanking side of the game, and you asked if Guardian is the main tank in the game. For most of the game, the Guardian has been the tank class of choice. Warden once way back when was an alternative to the Guardian, but right now with the current balance, the Captain is actually the best tank, but the Guardian would basically be right behind them. It's just the Captain specifically, it's more of an issue of the Captain being too strong, I think, or the Guardian being too weak. I guess you could see it from either point of view, but yeah, if you compare the Guardian to the Captain, they just lack a few things that the Guardian had, or that the Captain has, if I can get my classes right. Let's see, I should do something more useful and attack this troll back here. But in general, I think if you are just starting the game and you're looking to get into the tanking side, Guardian would still not be a bad choice. I have no idea how I messed up my gambit last time. I meant to use Ranged Warden Triumph, not whatever I used. But I don't think Guardian would be a bad choice because balance changes. So eventually the Guardian will probably be buffed or the Captain nerfed. Hopefully it's the Guardian buffed. Actually, if I do have to say which I would prefer. And Veryuta, you are wondering... it's not really a DPS threat issue. Specifically with tanking on the Captain, they have a lot better cooldowns, they have a lot more morale. So they have more health to take large critical hits, large hits, and all that type of stuff to survive one-shots. Which the Guardian doesn't do a bad job with that, the Captain I think is just a little bit better. And then the Captain also has very strong support, so it's really the cooldowns and the support that the Captain provides that's better than the Guardian at the moment. This is one of those other moments where I'm just like, we've been in the fight a while, and while answering the question I'm just like spamming random gambits at this point basically. Because once I get my dots, it's those first few gambits, especially in these situations. I have no idea how I guess I used two of the same gambits in a row on him somehow. The bleeds were just looking a little bit weird. It doesn't look like we have anybody else that would bleed though in the group. Oh, we have this guy, Capo. He actually usually plays a Warden. I guess he's on his Beorning today. So we have 3 lieutenants here. I feel like I was talking very distractedly there, so I don't even remember what I was going on about, but... Oh yeah, my skill usage. So at this point, I think this fight I'm doing a little bit better. It's good to spam the same gambit over and over, actually. Or at least gambits with the same number of icons, because then you can just get a bunch of Shatter Javelin bleeds while the mobs are weak, basically. Okay, so to get back with the chat... Yeah, the Guardian should become better, as Rift Mago said. And I hope that helped with the Guardian, because I really do feel like I was talking quite a bit distractedly there. And then, Vulgar, you want me first to talk about boss encounters. When we get to the boss encounters, I definitely will, and I can even talk about the lieutenants. A little bit what I know about them, at least. I'm not the biggest source of knowledge on skirmish raids. Regular skirmishes I've run so many times I feel like I should know them enough to be a source of knowledge on it. But the Scrades are a little bit different. And especially the boss fights usually are a lot tougher. Okay, I want to make sure I'm targeting one of the mobs in that big group there so I can get that huge AoE like I just did. And I'm basically waiting for Seize the Moment procs. That's the big thing. With Yellow Line Warden, you can do a tiny bit of damage, or I guess you can do an okay amount of damage, I should say, if you don't get Seize the Moment procs, but you can do insane damage if you do get Seize the Moment procs, because then you can just spam the Gambit Builders, the Gambit Masteries here. That is what they are called. And Wizco, you're wondering the best Gambit for the Red Line Warden? Honestly, I don't remember when you get it, but I think it's around level 80 or something like that. Oh, we're doing the encounter, okay. See, last time there was an encounter up here, also, it's just like waiting for people, but they ran back to get the encounter, so I'll actually help this time. But Range Resounding Challenge is a very strong gambit, and you have to go into the range stance for it, but it's a very good one. Now, one from low levels that you can start with is Surety of Death, and this is the example of a type of encounter. I have no idea what this guy actually does. So as far as I know, he's just a tiny goblin that you tank and spank. He has a lot of health though, I will say that. I could look at his buffs. Oaths fulfilled, so we use the Oathbreakers. And then he just has tier 3 difficulty and immunity to Fellowship Maneuvers. But otherwise, for the Red Line, another good gambit that you will actually get early on, I think you get at level 16, is Surety of Death. That will be a strong one for quite a while until you get more gambits for lower levels. And then this guy, the Frigid Squall, I know does an AoE damage attack, so I'm going to try to stay very far away and just use my ranged gambits here. And I am lagging, which actually made me totally mess up that gambit. I'm either lagging or have some slowing debuff. I actually don't know which it was, because I am not lagging anymore. And yeah, everybody there died almost. That's why I was standing so far away. Yeah, I knew it was a good idea to stay far away. See, I've had too many experiences with those Frigid Squalls. Except now I'm like kiting these mobs to nowhere. I don't even know if the tank died or the healers or what, but... Let's see. Oh, me? I was staying far away. I was at like my max range. But yeah, that Frigid Squall there, for y'all to know what's going on, he does some AoE burst damage, I think, when he gets low on health. And that's why I was staying far away. Looks like people are still up here fighting. I dragged them all back to the beginning for all the people that res. Oops, I was trying to build a gambit, but that is the problem with the Warden. When you go out of combat, your gambit builders are just blocked from use. So we have another encounter here. It is an... I actually wonder what encounters this character's done. Usually I attack at dawn, they take so long to go back to, I don't always do them. The other skirmishes, I do them a lot, but I don't know this server compared to Arkenstone how many of them that I have done. And I should put my debuffs up. These guys have enough morale that they last long enough. It's definitely useful, I think. One more game and I'm going back ranged. Oh, I'm not enough power. That is an issue I don't run into too frequently on my Warden. But Vulgar, I can finally get to your message, I think, about gambits I don't use for any reason. And I would say the Wall of Steel slash... what is it actually called? Onslaught slash Wall of Steel. Those do have reason to use them. I was going to say I don't use those ever, but if you do spear sweeping, a lot of, I think, people that have the Remerchant raid set bonus and at level 130 that play Yellow Line Warden specifically, they use that. This should be a good AoE situation for me here. Should get a lot of damage here. This part of the Yellow Line Warden's actually really fun, even though it's using the same gambit over and over. It's really fun because you get the huge AoE burst damage going on. Especially when there are a ton of mobs like that. But really, the gambits, I'd have to actually look at them. The spear shield line, I basically don't use that. I really don't know if it has much use anymore, to be honest. Actually, I want to test something. I didn't mean to use Goad there, it just happened to get used. Yeah, that does not do much damage. It's something that I don't know if it was like silently nerfed or if just something happened to it. I had a certain character with certain gear that made it strong temporarily. But the ranged unerring strike, specifically with Shattered Javelins, that used to be a little bit of strong burst damage, but it seems so much weaker than it used to be. So when you have Shattered Javelins traded, I should actually go in the ranged stance so we get the ranged version. When you have Shattered Javelins traded, ranged unerring strike, the 2 bleeds there, they will actually burst and get the Shattered Javelins effect. It's just a guaranteed effect that you get. So it'll bleed, or it'll consume the bleed for an area effect burst damage. And I used to think that burst damage was a little bit higher, but there it only hit crit for like 7k. Oh, we have we have a lot going on here, which means a lot of fun for me. I don't know a lot of fun for the tanks and healers, but we don't care too much about how they feel at the moment. Actually, we do, because without them, this would be a lot harder to go through. I actually don't even know. We have minstrels, but I don't even know if they're healing, to be honest. I honestly don't even know what gambits I've used. I just keep spamming the different ones since there are so many mobs, trying to get them first all bleeded, and then some of them I'll be bursting the Shatter Javelins. It's a chaotic fight, but it's fun. A lot of AoE here. I also want to make sure I just in general keep Ranger's only challenge up, because that's strong on its own, even ignoring the bleed effects from the yellow line. I did not mean to use resolution there. So Izco, you're in Moria and you're level 62, but the mobs have twice your health. So I think the main thing you could do there is maybe get some gear. Or if you're working on your virtues, a good one for low levels actually, I don't have it equipped on this character, is Honor and Fortitude, but at higher levels Loyalty becomes better. I would recommend working on the Loyalty virtue. It's a pretty strong virtue in general and pretty useful to have. This guy has a lot of morale. He's the Ill Omens mob. I really don't know what he does. I did the Ill Omens a little bit, but I don't even know if I ever ran into all of them when I originally did this, and I need to remove my wound, it looks like. I have no idea what sort of bleeds I used or didn't use at this point. He has so many bleed effects on him, I'm just going to actually give it a minute and use a lot of my melee skills and give some time for the bleeds to go down for me to switch back. Okay, so I'm resetting the bleeds. I did not want to use Defensive Strike. That's the opposite of type of skill I'd want to use at this moment. But as far as getting the morale up, now that this fight's a little bit more in hand, getting loyalty up would be good, but also just getting gear, better armor. There's a lot of good armor. Stats go quite a bit up, I think, in Moria. Wow, I'm really running out of power. I don't know if it's something this Harbinger does, or some of the mobs in the skirmish, or of this character, my gear might have changed enough. I probably used to have some of the old jewelry I had like power restore on it and combat power regen, so I might just be missing that. I should also be leveling up today. I don't know, that's something I just randomly saw as like my XP bar, okay. Oh yeah, so this boss, since you wanted me to talk about the boss Vulgar, which I would probably do anyway since it's coming up, but he does a wound right at the start of the fight that does a lot of damage basically. As in, I think it can almost one-shot if it gets one tick, or it gets its second tick. I don't even know, it might do some instant damage, and then it's a second tick that'll like kill people, so yeah, you really need to get your wound removed quickly, or otherwise you basically die, I think. But other than that, it's a very, well, I think it's an easy fight. Other than that, you're supposed to kill the ads, but in my experience, even in the raid version, you can kill the boss before even needing to kill the ads. But I think usually we'll have enough people focus on the ads. We have a lot of hunters. I probably don't think it's worth me switching to them, especially if the hunters can get it. Looks like we got a hope token. I'll go ahead and use some consumables even. Oh, it's interruptible, okay. Or something else is interruptible. Wow, that really did a lot of damage when it was applied. I don't remember what gambits I'd used, but I wasted a lot of time there since apparently I had seized the moment. Make sure I've never surrendered up. Did not want to use Fierce Resolve. That's the situation where lag hurts on a Warden. Now I'm going very slow here. Need to interrupt. Okay, going to use bleeds again. He does a lot of AoE fire as well, and here it might be worth killing the scouts. I was going to say it's probably not worth me focusing on them, but since the hunters and a lot of our DPS are dead, I feel like I need to. Okay, I don't remember what gambits I've used. I feel like I should be in range, but I'm going to switch to melee. Although I actually want to be ranged just for safety in this fight. We don't have any healers right now. I don't even know what it's worth using all my healing gambits right there. Okay, let me use this one. See if that does apply a bleed, so I think I'm good to go back in melee. And it looks like people who died have been able to run back and get in, so that's helpful as well. Oh, I got stunned right as I was going up to the goblins. And hello, the non-revs. I will look at your message after this fight. Somebody interrupted him. I did not mean to use. I feel like I'm saying that a lot, that I did not mean to use, but I'm just missing things slightly enough to mess things up. Where, like using Android maneuver there, like I did, it basically popped the bleed that I put on with range resounding challenge, which I did not want to do, even though it does like the burst AoE damage. Did we defeat him? Oh, we did defeat him. For some reason, I didn't think we defeated him and we were too close to the gate and he just reset. In Wizco, you're wondering how you level fast? The fastest way would be instances and skirmishes, but you can miss a lot of important things. Such as trait points, which is very important in certain areas. Beacon of Gondor Frame. I already have that. I got it from my other character hitting level 100. I say my other character like I only have one other character, but I actually have way more than one other character. And it looks like I need to free up some inventory space.
Would that we could procure a trophy from Durin's Bane.
But to get to your comment, the non-revs, you said you finally found my live streams and you found all the guides for the game have really helped you out. Well, I'm glad they have helped you. That is what they are for. Loot all these, and I think my inventory and all that. I don't know what I was saying. They were talking about stuff in the Discord about stuff being glitched. You all can't see the raid chat. I can actually turn that on. There's no kin chat going on. So at the very bottom right, I don't even know if the text is big enough to read, but basically the chests and the skirmish raids, when we run them, are bugged where we can't even open them. So I think somebody submitted a bug report. It sounds like it has been forwarded to the dev. So I don't know for sure that it's a bug. It seems like a bug because the chest is there. We complete the quest that's required to open it and all that, but they aren't able to, or we aren't able to. Somebody sent me, oh wow, they sent me a piece of physical mastery, vitality, might. The only problem, I don't think I got this piece of gear. I did buy a piece of gear off the auction house for level 100. Actually, this helmet. I got a lot of exciting things for level 100. I don't have a first stage ally yet, but that is okay. Hopefully we'll be able to get somebody to craft me a couple first stage allies after these skirmishes, maybe. Oh, it looks like we already started Stormo Methodist. Here I am being slow, and they were waiting on the other skirmish, and it sounds like they're just getting scrolls and tokens, even though we just got those. But the gloves, comparing to my current gloves, I would gain quite a bit of physical mastery. I'd lose finesse. Do I need finesse though? I'd also lose a tiny bit of critical rating. It's something that would actually take a moment. I'm guessing just based off the look of it that it'll be an upgrade. I go up to 216.6. So I gain like 4% physical mastery. That's 20. Wait. I did not say that properly. 25.6 to 25.5. So I lose 0.1% crit chance from the agility loss, so that's not that bad. On the physical mastery, obviously, I gained more even with the might. The vitality will give me a bit of morale. The evade rating I don't really care about, but the finesse I don't really need anyway, so it's not a loss on finesse ultimately. Alright, quests. These quests, on this character I do need to do Central Gondor. I'll actually end up doing all these. I plan to go through all of Gondor on this character. I'm gonna accept all of these. Even though I'm not going to do them right away, good to go ahead and have them. I think they even give a little bit of reward. These ones actually give, I think, a couple like silver pieces of whatever region it is. Felbane Archer. This is another one of the lieutenants you don't see that much in these solo versions, as in at all. I think there are a lot that can only spawn in different group versions. So Wizco, you asked when you should be ready to imbue your legendary, and you can imbue at level 100. You have to get a level 100 legendary item, and that is when you imbue it. So I am level 100 on my character. I need to get... It's best to do first stages in the long run. So getting a first stage level 100 ally and then imbuing it is basically the strategy with that. I am basically at this point just waiting for or hoping for a seize the moment proc, and that way I can go into melee, use desolation, then surety of death, and then break of victory, and then maybe even Warcry. Wonder if that really does enough damage. It does 1.8k. Normally I don't quite do Warcry, but if there's nothing really better to use, I'd use like a single target thing. It's probably better to use Warcry, but I can't say for sure on that. Okay, we're getting our next counter attack. And I don't remember what I put these mobs with. Definitely didn't mean to use Piercing Toss there. Oh, I hit that mob with the bleed he already had. So whenever I run the skirmish solo, it's really a different experience. This might be the first time I've done... No, I have done Stormo Methodist with the raid before. But it's my first time doing it with this group, with this kinship, and... Oh, you notice? I try to be sneaky about it. But whenever I run the solo, I basically pull the whole room, even while the counterattacks are going. And usually no problems with surviving that. Some classes, some characters, some situations, it can be difficult, but that is usually what I do solo, so it's a little bit different. doing it in a raid, I'm not quite as comfortable. I have pulled a couple mobs. There is, I guess this is the encounter on Rodri. I'm not too familiar with him. In solo, everything just dies so quickly in solo skirmishes. At least in my experience, I don't really run tier 3 solo skirmishes since they're not really worth the time or effort for the challenge. But doing tier 3 and the raid version, you actually get to see some of the mechanics a little bit more. Things actually live. And it's kind of interesting. Alright, I will let somebody else claim it. So it looks like we got the Harbinger of Dead is back down here. So basically I'm going to pull those guys back here. They're probably going to, if I keep aggro on everything that I pulled back there, it'll probably kill me. But we got the counterattack and the Harbinger. We don't necessarily, I think, need to do them at the same time, but for me at least it's a little bit more chaotic fun. Again, I don't know about the healers and the tank. I feel like with this many mobs, the tank just would have to accept that they can't keep aggro on everything. At least if I were tanking, you'd know, on my Warning, I like to do pulls like this. Can't really do that much in the more instances that we run that I've been doing on my Warning, but if I could, I would pull this many, and they do have a force taunt that aggroes everything. You just have to hope that everything is actually in the radius of it, in range of it. I cannot see my cursor because I want to select one of the new mobs to get them all my dots. Yeah, so I saw this was... Oh, I don't have enough power. That is why these skills aren't going off. Okay. I saw this was a mighty Drugafar, but these guys are huge. Are these Drugavar guys way larger than usual? Yeah, I meant size-wise. I don't know if it's just the raid version with us there like that, or what, though. But yeah, it's kind of funny what skirmishes. I noticed these little Drugavar aren't so little anymore, but there's some like trolls and spiders that have been shrunk, basically. They're very tiny compared to what they used to be. I don't know how this happened, why it happened, but it's something I think in the Mirkwood skirmishes, a lot of the NPCs, the encounter NPCs, have been shrunk, and these are just regular mobs that seem bigger than I remember, but again, it might just be the raid version. I don't know, did we actually get the Harbinger? Or doing fights there for so long with so many different things. Go ahead and bring some more mobs. I don't know what the harm could be in pulling more mobs. And I am out of power again. There is actually these type of mobs, the kind of, I guess they're the dead type of mobs, they have a lot of power drains in general in LOTRO, so that could be some of what I'm running into right now. In Peep Hands, you are thinking about using a Valor to 120 just for Eton Wars. You don't mind PvE, but the grind from 1 to 130 is insane, and I do agree. So you're wondering if gearing is hard in endgame. Well, for PvE, I don't know necessarily that it's hard to get decent gear, but getting the best gear can take a lot of grinding. And the grinding would be running the higher difficulty tiers, again, to get the best gear. Oop, we still have the Harbinger? I thought we killed the Harbinger a while ago. They just had a focus on the mobs that aren't the Harbinger, but I didn't even know we had the Harbinger up still. Those guys, somebody started doing a lot of damage. I don't know if it was the encounter guys, or I actually don't even know those. Those guys are the encounters, the two Illidan looking guys. Illidan from World of Warcraft looking guys. Oh, I don't know what killed me, but it killed me right as I got back up there. Let's see, something did damage to me. Oh, somebody just scored a hit with me. Enough damage to kill me. But yeah, for endgame, you'd have to run the harder content to get the best gear. If that is what you're looking for, like getting the best gear. I still have aggro on stuff, wow. Oh, we do still have the Harbinger up. Yeah, I did not realize we still had the Harbinger up there. And it looks like Ceradan died. No, that was not good. I thought that fight was going so well. I didn't realize Ceradan. I have no idea. I just like died twice there. That was the weirdest thing. It looks like the Harbinger reset as well. So I guess we have to do the counter attack probably and wait to pull the Harbinger. I know the Hunter and I ran straight to the Harbinger to go ahead and get it pulled. I need to repair, which I shouldn't even need to do if I actually got the item I'm supposed to get, the subscriber town services, also known as the most OP item in the game. And it looks like it did not equip the helmet. This is actually a more interesting piece of gear. I don't know, I might gain physical mastery. Just looking at the number. Okay, actually gain... No, I lose 300 physical mastery, but I gain a little bit of critical rating. I think 17,499. That is 23.4 versus 23.6. And yeah, Andrew, I had to clear my throat there, but I do not have that. Is this a new instance? Yeah, insert peat pins and... Yeah, I don't have the VIP. Just catching up with chat there. Making sure I got everything, and... in my inventory, and I guess the quest, I need to talk to Strothkel. Don't know where he is. Looks like everybody is in the skirmish. I guess they did start it up. I asked if this was a new one, but I guess nobody answered me on Discord. I think maybe I just like thought I was pushing my push to talk. Maybe I was hitting another key. That does happen occasionally. So I think the strategy will be to... Am I in melee stance or... Okay, the bleeds are coming up, I just didn't see them. But the strategy this time will be to get the encounters before pulling the Harbinger. So just ignoring the Harbinger until we get the encounters completed. Not the encounters, but the counter attack. So in Storm of Methadris, each counter attack, at the end of it, there are 3 waves of counter attacks, and at the end there is a encounter. And we had the encounter, and we probably even pulled some regular mobs up there. I might have pulled a group up there. I don't remember actually. Sounds like something I would do, but I honestly don't remember. I thought on that fight I was just paying attention to the mobs we already had, since it seemed like we had a lot. Right, this time I feel the need to... Oh, I was going to actually pull the Defender of Argus, but I didn't have to, he just ran to us. I think on the tier 3, or at least the skirmish raid version, he makes all the nearby enemies absorb, but in the solo version he just makes them take minus like 50% incoming damage or something like that, so it's really important in the raid version to get him down quickly. So P-Pans, I'm not sure for PvMP about getting one-shot and getting gear for that. What I can say is I believe they are looking at adding PvMP gear for Freeps again. I don't think that's been in the game for a long while. Ever since Essences came, I think, is when they stopped making new PvMP gear. I'm not sure on that. There's a lot of snow here. I don't know exactly what happened. We don't have a Runekeeper, so it's not their effect. I don't know if it's some enemy here, or what's going on. Or if there's... I don't think there's a Frigid Squall either. See, I don't even know what game it sees at this point. Yeah, I'm running out of power again. I really don't know if it's this. It could be the skirmish, but I'm not used to having these power issues, probably, obviously. It's just a little bit on the odd side for me here. And I have power potions. It's not like I can't use those. It's just even with those, I guess I have to pay attention to my power, rather. Is more the issue, and actually use the Dark Before Dawn before I run out of power. So like right now it'd be good to go ahead and use that. I think it gives a decent chunk of power immediately, and then even a little bit over time we can look at it to see exactly what it does. 840 power, so yeah, that's a decent chunk up front, and then it even restores 2% every 4 seconds, so that's like 8%. That's not really much. It's mainly the immediate power that it gives. But also with the Dark Before Dawn, it does give the 5 icon bleed for Shattered Javelins. Well, P-Pants, if PvMP gear is your dream, then it sounds like you are in luck that they will be adding that. And I was super slow with switching stances there. I feel like, I don't know if it's a skirmish since it's just so white and the cursor's pretty white, and the cursor's pretty small anyway. If I just missed it because of that. But I feel like lately, at least this stream a little bit, I've had some trouble actually finding my cursor. And I built a power attack, whatever that was, a super slow way there. See, I think I used enough gimmicks. I can go back to the yellow line. Or not the yellow line, but the range stance. This guy has a lot of health. He's going down very slowly. I don't know if it's his health or all his buffs. That could be more of the case that it's his buffs. Going on minus 80% Defender of Darkness. So yeah, he was taking minus 80% damage. Greater Tokens of Ice. Damaging effect for a short time, as long as they do not move far away. Let's see how much damage that does. Did that say minus 2%? Wow, so it actually does a percent max morale. That does a decent amount of damage then. If it's 2% every 5 seconds, I don't think that is bad. This time I know we're going through the skirmish extra slow already, but I feel like we'd be fine with at least one more group. It was more when we ran into the Harbinger and had the counterattack going at the same time, and the counterattack, I don't know if I fully went over that when we reset this, but the counterattack keeps going, and they keep attacking Cyrodiil, the NPC that needs to survive. So I don't know how I ended up using Warcry there. Must face the target. It must have been facing a different guy. So while we were focusing on the Harbinger, or even if we only focused on the Harbinger, the counterattack would be going against Ceradan anyway. And then also kind of like we did if we didn't pull more and was just fighting the Harbinger and the counterattack, fighting both of them, the counterattacks are still going to be ongoing and you're fighting both of those at once for a long duration, I think. And there were probably things we could have done as a whole group to have gotten through that, but ultimately we did not get through it, and just be better, I think, to be safe the second time, especially with this many people. So we have the Harbinger, and I think we're ignoring him and getting the counterattack settled first. I still think as a group we would be able to pull this whole thing, but pull this whole thing without the Harbinger. I mean, the Harbingers, as we discovered in Attack at Dawn, actually do a little bit, especially when we have an NPC that needs to not die. And I need to clear my throat. I don't know if you all hear, but my voice is getting all raspy feeling. So like basically in the skirmish, if we didn't have to protect Ceradan, I would definitely feel like we could have gotten that fight with the Harbinger and the encounter. The main thing was actually the encounter, I think, all those NPCs. Yeah, these everything in here looks giant. Yeah, I don't know if you all notice it, but even the other mobs, everything in here just looks bigger than normal. Yeah. That's, somebody just pointed out the little lieutenant here. This troll is so much tinier than the big, hill beast guys. Even these guys are pretty big, the staunch Kuthrall Fearcaster, so I don't know what's going on with skirmish mob size. So Peepans, you said you hope it will come soon. That would be really nice. Oh, for the PvMP gear. Yeah, I wouldn't count on it being too soon. That is all I can say. But Standing Stone Games has been a lot more insightful into their operations lately. So basically, we have been given information that they have like a dedicated person basically working on PvMP. I am out of power again. I think I'm missing. I don't know if I'm missing Rage Hacker. No, it looks like we're good. It looks like we got Car, a different, what does he called it? A different encounter. Yeah, I was actually just about to ask about that. The two we had last time, it seems like they're what really caused the issues at the end there. Are they just like that tough? Okay, so yeah, it sounds like those, the encounter, getting the counter attack and encounter, the encounter is a part of the counter attack, it's just all easy to jumble up the words basically. Yeah, it's kind of interesting though, just in the solo version, never get a chance to actually see the mechanics of the skirmishes. I messed up that gambit. So this gambit in particular, it's kind of hard to build starting at 1 and 3, just because I haven't used it all that much. I used to use it a little bit more, but I think it goes this way for a Ranged Warden's Triumph. And Ranged Warden's Triumph, whenever I use that, is basically my go-to 5 gambit icon gambit for ranged and putting the Barb Javelin bleed up. And hello, Jacob Rivera. You asked what would be the best solo class in the game. There are a few that could be considered the best. If you're looking at the best to like solo group content and the such. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm having a lot of lag here, wow. There we go. I don't think I had a slowing buff. I could have, because crawlers and those things and skirmishes and just the dead types of mobs, there's a lot of slowing effects that could be going, but I feel like it's actual lag. And then, okay, got all those dots up. Oh, all these crawlers, these are actually the ones I want to hit, I think. I missed them with my first attack there. I wonder what this Warden's playing. They're not that bad. They have some decent burst damage. I don't know at level 100. That's really, I think, about when they start becoming weak with the legendary weapons compared to other classes, say. I did not see if that put a bleed up or took a bleed off. I really have no idea. Might be taking a bleed off. I did take a bleed off, so I'll go this way. And I'm actually about to run out of power, so let's use Dark Before Dawn before I forget. And then go through these gambits. But yeah, Warden can be a good solo class if you're looking to solo like group content, solo the toughest stuff. Basically, if you're looking to go through the game fast, Warden's also good for that, so they have 2 benefits there. All around, Warden's pretty good for solo. But there are other ones. I should try to find my range stance there. But some other options that are good for solo is the Warning. They're a little bit slow. They do enough damage on their own. Well, I'm doing a really bad job maintaining like my bleeds and stuff here. This particular fight. I have no idea what bleeds I've used. I'm just like not paying attention to this fight basically. I'm running through the different bleeds and different skills and stuff, but not doing it in an optimized way at all right now. Usually, sometimes I just like, am kinda like this where I just don't have that much focus on the game, and I guess it's a bad time to play the Warden even though I'm having a lot of fun on the Warden right now. But just with the Warden, it can make a pretty big difference if you're actually playing it optimally versus like I am almost spamming the same gimmicks over and over. And it's not been like that. Oh, I feel like it's been like that almost an hour. They're saying it's been like constant fighting the past 10 minutes, and I feel like I have not had a break from fighting this whole stream basically. When we started the first skirmish, we had like minor break, but I do feel like I've been in combat. Like I feel like my Warden should be very tired and ready for lunch at this point. I did get a short meal in. I forget, in the solo version I always go behind the hut there, but I think in the raid version you actually get these dragons and some other things you need to deal with basically. Yeah, I was so confused. I was so confused the first time I ran this in a raid. Yeah, because I always stay like at the hut where the one dragon comes. And I'm like out of position for this one, I guess. I really don't know Ceradon. He's the guy we have to protect. I guess the healers can heal him. He doesn't have all that much more out. My Runekeeper would be able to heal him decently, so I don't think that should be an issue. We just basically have to have a healer on him. So Wisco, thank you for the $2 tip there. I feel like right now would not be the best time to say that. If you want me to say it to my kinship specifically. Oh, out of power again. I have no idea what that little shadow storm did, but I felt like he needed to be killed. I just used a power potion. Either I'm crazy or my power got removed by some effect. I feel like that has to be it. Not even on auto attack. It should have been on at least auto attack right there. And hello, Lori Gordon. Sorry, I missed. I saw your message, but I just like remember that I forgot to reply. Oh, I have some power. Oh, I had power briefly. Okay. Wonder if I have a power restoration token. Oh, that's the one that deals damage. Token of the Alliance will penalty to offense. Alright, Wizco. That sounds like a fair deal. Windy. I did not think we fought her, but I don't know. They're talking about... Oh, better roll on a Starlit Crystal. Pass on all these, don't really care about them. Don't know who got the Starlit Crystal. Alright, Wizco. Leroy Jenkins. I am not that good at yelling. So that was my attempt at yelling. And somewhat mimicking the voice. Hopefully it sounded okay. That was a bad time in the game though. If we could have done it right at a fight. I do have a, what is it called? I don't even remember the setting for my microphone. If it gets loud, it won't like go all cracky or anything like that. It'll limit the volume basically. It's actually more... Oh, are we taking a break? Yeah, it looks like 5-minute break before the next two. Okay, that'll give me some time to do these book quests here. As exciting as that is. And yeah, I need to talk to Stothkel, but I have no idea where he is. Heart of Fire, Way of Smiths, Silvertine Loads. That is what I would like to call a Mithril Coin quest at this point for this character. And I want to get a screenshot of this guy because he is doing something interesting, and having NPCs or any character... Oh, I can't quite get that angle. It looks like it blocks the camera right at the forge. But anytime there is an NPC doing something interesting like this, I like to get screenshots. I don't always use them for thumbnails, especially a little dwarf like this, and it's kind of a bad angle, but they're always good to have in my screenshot storage for something like that. So I was going to say I need to find the dwarf, but that is not it. Aid Rink Stronghammer with his preparations. Who is Rink Stronghammer, and what do I need to do? Scantly, you were wondering what I think about Runekeeper right now, and I think they have been in a rough spot for a while. I know Lightning was strong damage and was eventually nerfed, and probably over nerfed, but I think what's more rough about them is that Redline is too weak, and I think Redline, the way Standing Stone Games balances things, I think Redline should do a little bit more over time damage than the Yellow Line Runekeeper, at least like overall. So Lori Gordon, you were wondering what the member symbol is, and I think you can change that if you want. I have the Runekeeper and Warden one, but it is the Mithril Flake. It is an item in-game. It is the icon of an item in-game in LOTRO. And that is what it is. So my kinship is the Mithril League, and we use it as our kin logo. And I needed something to put on there. I'll probably eventually add some other things. I should add some other things. I might slightly, very slightly, what do I do for this quest? Aid him in the... Is there a targetable item here? Let me turn floating names on. Alright, I will just run around this room and look to see if there's anything I can do. Here is Waffy, don't need him. But yeah, it is not a toilet roll. It is for sure.
I doubt that
Chapter 3, Runners in the Deep. Chapter 3, Aid Rink Stronghammer. Okay, that is what I need to do. So we'll go defeat some goblin runners in the waterworks. Oh no, they're making me switch zones. I feel like this would be very scary to walk across in real life. I really have no idea how to get out of here. And yes, Wizco, I know the chat is blurred. That is my kin chat. And mainly for privacy of the members, those who don't want all their kin chat to be broadcast on YouTube and in my videos and streams and the such, I have it blurred. So that is intentional. And I wonder if that camp would somehow lead to the waterworks. I kind of doubt it, but I almost feel like it could. I'm actually going to look on the LOTRO wiki real quick for this quest. Chapter 3, preparations. And I got it. Preparations for the Heart to Fire walkthrough and notes. So this one you need to weigh smiths before you come into the... so runners in the something. So this quest, yeah, all it says is waterworks. Sometimes the LOTRO wiki will have really useful hints, like if this Way of the Smiths actually went out to the waterworks, and I really do feel like it almost could. It's a little bit of a small cave for that, but it just has that hint of like it would be possible. Laura, you said we need a champ icon for you. I can look into doing that. I don't know how many slots I have, but if I could, I think I would make like each class level 1 member. And then I could have some more special ones, say, for members, higher level memberships. I really wonder if there's a way here. Wizco, thank you for joining the stream. You said you have to go. But yeah, thank you for joining, and have a good night and good luck at school in the morning. See, I wonder if there's... I feel like I'm just wasting time trying to find a shortcut. This isn't going to lead anywhere. We were already here. But if it can get to the Redhorn Lodes, that's why I feel like it can get to the waterworks. If it can get to the Redhorn Lodes. Is there a secret? Making sure there wasn't a secret passage back there either. Yeah, the toilet roll, that would be probably whatever the level 2 membership is. I feel like I should change the name of those, something relevant to LOTRO. I could do the copper tier, the silver tier, the gold tier, and then the mithril tier. I don't know, it's just to make the memberships a little bit more interesting. Okay, so this goes out here. Anyway, I'm going to actually, this would be a lot quicker. They're going to start the Fort of Bruin, and this is interesting because it's a defensive one. I have definitely not done this one in raid. I maybe have done this one duo. Well, I have done this one duo. I've done, I think, basically every skirmish duo at one point.
Dwarves must fight for dwarves.
Let's see. I don't know why I'm looking at the travel when we're supposed to be doing a skirmish. That's why I was getting distracted there.
Forces of the enemy have marched up to the bank of the Bruinen and await the sign to attack.
I am going to have to tell my, the people in my kinship what you all think of the Mithril League.
Rivendell shall not be far behind it. The battle is nearly upon you.
And hello, Ardias, or Ardice. Don't know how to say your name, unfortunately, but you said your friends and you came back to the game after many years, and you said your guy, thanks for the guides. They've helped a lot of you in getting back into the game. Well, I'm glad you like the guides. So, do any of you want to know what some random people think of the Mithril League? Yeah, they called it a toilet roll. That was not knowing it was a Mithril League at first, but I thought it was kind of funny. That's what it, I guess, looks like. Just people from YouTube. I just thought it was funny that that's apparently the first impression of what it looks like. So you all know what they said in the kin when I told them that. They said that they can see it looking like that, but I think everybody in the kin and in the game is pretty familiar with the Mithril League item. I have no idea how I got one bleed on that enemy. I actually removed 2 of the bleeds somehow using Resounding Challenge and... not Resounding Challenge, but... whatever that skill is called, the Exaltation of Battle and Fierce Resolve. So Andrew, you said at least they buffed Eladon and Elvro here so they don't die all the time, so there's a little bit of a funny thing about that. I did not realize they had issues in raids. I learned that when the patch came out that they buffed Eladon and Elvro here, but one thing you can do with the Lore Master, or any class really, but the Lore Master is best at it, Captain would be second best I think, is you can go into the Fort of Bruin, turn on the Bog Guardian at aggressive. Basically, you can set it up here or the south end. But you can park your Lore Master AFK there for the entire skirmish, and Eladon and Elro here are far strong enough to handle it on themselves. And then they buffed them, so it didn't make much sense to me at first, but then I learned that they died, or died very easily in group versions. I don't know if they buffed like the solo version of them, but... And by the way, to the people in the stream, sorry that I called you all random people. Most people in my kinship know that I like stream and make YouTube videos. I don't know that everybody, well, I don't think even, I don't know, some of them might watch my videos, but not even everybody like really pays attention or is even interested in YouTube or cares at all about that, which is okay. So that's why I said random people basically at first. But then I guess that brought the questions as to who. And that is basically what was going on there, just to give you a little bit of background. And Lori, thank you for joining the stream. And as usual, if you're still here, thank you for being a member, even with the whole toilet roll incident. It really does look like that, though. It is kind of one of those can't unsee it type things. I really don't see the skirmish being difficult at all, especially with the, I think the Beornig's playing yellow line, so they're just like killing the NPCs. And I'm out of power again. Is anybody else having power issues, or is it just me and my character right now? Okay, I don't know if you remember, all this old low-level gear has like a ton of in-combat power regen now, so I don't know if I'm just missing that or there are actually things in skirmish causing issues. I just gotta remember to use the Dark Before Dawn, but I don't remember until it says not enough power to like cast a gambit. But it sounds like a couple people are having some issues, mainly the Guardian. I think we're on push back the second assault. Did we just finish the first assault? It's one of the things about defensive skirmishes I have trouble always keeping up with exactly what's going to be going on, but this one is honestly not much different from the solo version right now. It's basically just sitting here and defending and going kind of slowly, I think, overall, as I get the hiccups and try to talk. There must be something with hiccups and talking, because I basically only get the hiccups when streaming, and it's usually just like randomly an hour or two into it, and then I'll go away in a few minutes. Oh, I got that quest done. I got 42 silver for doing a random level quest. I don't think this character went through Troll Shaws, is why I didn't have that quest already done. In fact, I wonder where I leveled this character. I did Foreshell. I do remember that. And I did... what did I do before Foreshell? Might have done Evandem on this character, I don't remember. Oh, somebody got a Starlight Crystal. Starlight Crystals are the ones we really want, or at least that I would really want. You can get a lot of the low tier ones at the Moats vendor person guy. D-Bomb23, you're wondering if there's a quest in Moria that auto-kills you at the end of it, and you can't find it, but you remember there was one? I am honestly not sure. That doesn't sound too familiar to me, but there could be something like that. But I honestly don't remember that. And hello, Dan's Adventures. So one thing I forgot to talk about this whole time during this stream is the I I guess, special LOTRO stream they had earlier today with, I can't remember his name right now, Scenario, that is his name, I think his name is Scenario. The world builder, he's like a senior world builder at Standing Stone Games and works on LOTRO. But that was pretty nice that they did that. I feel like one thing, there's a lot of feedback after the chat with Severlin, way back after War of Three Peaks. So I feel like Standing Stone Games is doing better with communicating. That was one of the big things that I talked about in my Why I'm Excited for Update 29 video. That was actually before we even knew about the Severlin. It might have been announced by the time the video came out, but that was, or not Severlin. Scenario, that was before the whole scenario thing. And then let me get to Dan's adventures question, and then I do want to get back to the Severlin note actually, but Dan's adventures asked if I remember the date or patch when players got experience from crafting, and I have no idea. I just know it was a few years ago. At the least it was a few years ago, and many years ago at the most. But yeah, I just don't remember that. It seems like it was so long ago. It's probably been in the game longer than it has not been for when I've been playing specifically. This might be something I could easily look up. Well, a lot of people are already down there. I was lagging way behind up here. And I did not need to use that game builder. But with Severlin, apparently there's also a chat with Severlin. Not next week, Friday. So that should be exciting. I don't know that I'll have a LOTRO like news video to make out of it. If y'all want that, I could definitely do it. But one thing I am concerned with doing videos like that is I don't just want to repeat basically what I said in the stream. Maybe the big thing I guess I could do from that is share the big details, but I don't know, I just feel like it'd basically not be a good idea, I guess, to repeat everything in the stream, but maybe it would be. I honestly don't really know how to make coverage videos like that, as odd as it is. So Andrew, he did not give any hints on upcoming areas. Well, actually there were a few scattered things. He said a lot of want to do's and would be interested in doing, but no like definite plans or anything like that, because he was talking as a world builder, like the type of areas he would be interested in building. So there are things like connecting Gundabad to Ingmar. That's something they want to do but don't have plans for. We don't even have Gundabad right now. And one odd note is I would when the people from the Standing Stone Games team, when they pronounce something in LOTRO, I would take that as the actual way to pronounce it, but he pronounced some things a little bit weird to me. Not saying they were wrong or bad, but one thing he pronounced was Gundabad, as Gundabad. That's how I pronounced it before. I heard a lot of people say Gundabad. So it's just something a little bit odd. I don't know if it's more of a preference type thing, or if there is actually proper, it's Gundabad or Gundabad. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting. It seems like most other people called it Gundabad, even though I called it Gundabad before I heard that. I have no idea what these defilers do. I know I always kill them in the solo version, and they only have 303k morale. That is plenty low enough for me to deal with on my own, I think, especially with the skirmish soldiers. Except that guy just totally reset all my dots reset on him. That actually gives me something to do. I can use Warden's Triumph and all that. But I do also have to consider killing these mobs would make the skirmish progress faster, which would be a good thing. But other than Gundabad and that whole connecting it with Ingmar, he talked a lot about wanting to go expand around Arid the Wind. Specifically, what was the name of it? I have my notes up from that. I had 5 whole bullet points worth of notes from that stream. So Tower Hills, that is what that place is called. Tower Hills was mentioned a lot as an area he would like to build. And I don't know, him being a world builder so much means that would be like plans how much influence he would have on where they go next based on where he wants to like build areas for, but yeah, it looks like daunting. This is a lieutenant, okay. It's like the ground, not the ground, the little green fog here, misty fog. That was very weird. So I wanted to see what the lieutenant was, but it was a daunting spirit sapper. I guess that's what the fog is actually pretty thematic towards spirit looking color. And he's a spirit sapper, so he's sapping our spirit. I don't know exactly how he does it besides slowing us and having protection from slow. I don't know how I ended up using Piercing Strike, but that never should have been used in that situation. This situation actually has some use, except I removed a bleed ultimately with that, which is the opposite of what I'd want to do. Anyway. So Vulgar, you said you're fairly sure the way he pronounced it is correct from the books, and it was spoken like that in movies. So it was spoken like Gundabad, it sounds like. Yeah, it could also be some like accents. I don't know if what accent it would be that would say Gundabad instead of Gundabad, but it is possible that is also some like influence on that. Oh no, did he resist that? Somehow he didn't get hit by Resounding Challenge, the giant head smasher. I called him a giant head smasher. I didn't even realize he was called a giant head smasher. Or the whole giant part. That was a good coincidence there. Oh, so Vulgar not like Gundabad? Like Gundabad? Like the Goon way, kinda? Gundabad? It's kinda hard, asking those, and I guess having you answer those in the text. Especially when I get going on and talking after that. But some other things from the stream, while I await the whole Gundabad thing. Umbar and Harad and South Desert, those are places he would want to go, and I'd very much so be interested in a desert in LOTRO and how that would end up. We don't really have much actual deserts in the game. Could almost argue Forestial should be parts of it, but the way it is in the game, it would be a little bit inconsistent to actually be called a desert, even though some parts of it would be desert. Like, this Defiler is a little signature. I guess he's not a part of those Orc Defilers that are Elite Masters. And he also... Okay, so Vulgar, it sounds like it is Gundabad. Okay. That is, yeah. I already said the whole thing on that, but... based on earlier streams from people of Standing Stone Games, I was thinking it was Gundabad. And then he pronounced it, Scenario pronounced it as Gundabad, I think, during his stream earlier today. And then Andrew, you said you have to go back to work. Well, it is very late for work, at least where I am. It is 8:30 p.m. right now. But have fun with that, and thank you for joining the stream. Yeah, as far as the Umbar and Harad area, that I think was definitely no plans. It was just like somebody asked, I think in the chat, would you be interested in going there? And he was like, yeah. At least from what I remember on that. That was how it went, at least. And then let's see. I'm going to try to hit my keybinds while looking way to the right. Yeah, that was pretty much it for new areas. He talked a lot about Wildwood, of course, because that is the update that is in beta, and there will be another beta round later this week, as far as we know. And one of the things that came up a lot was if they'd consider doing Wildwood-like zones, filling an area door. Looks like we have the Harbinger. Logirth the Dead. I guess we will not get the Harbinger. So you want to get the trolls into the water here. Looks like there are 2 trolls in the raid version. I've only done the solo/duo, where there's only 1 troll. And then the boss cannot be hit? Is that the case, or is it just the trolls that can't be hit? I guess you can still hit the boss, okay. And I used a bunch of bad gamuts there, but hopefully we got the trolls. Looks like we got 1 troll open, so I'll go ahead and hit him with all my stuff. One nice thing about the trolls with the shields is you still can hit them with damage over time, so when they open up they'll have all that ready. Oh, somebody did a big 21k hit to me. Oh, his shield actually comes back up. I did not know that. Wow, they had them positioned perfectly for where the water came out. I'm guessing that was the strategy. Somebody else talking about moving them way up north. So I'm guessing that is the known position. I did not know that. I don't know if it'd be helpful with the solo version, but the water always starts at the exact same point. That would of course be helpful. Trying to put my bleeds back up. I might even go use 1 more while I'm getting the melee range. Figure it's good to go ahead and get the troll dead, even though the main boss still has a lot of health left. Now we can focus on him. And I think with the main boss I can switch to ranged and use all this stuff. I don't even remember what gamuts I've used though at this point. We'll see if a bleed. Okay, that did add a bleed. Oh, he has a lot of bleeds on them. That is one thing fun with the outline Warden, is how many bleeds you can put on enemies sometimes. It's just fun to stack them all. Surprised his last 200k, he lasted a while there. I have no idea what the circle does. It looks like it might give a buff. No, that's the herbalist. So here is the Harbinger that we need for this skirmish. That'll make it 3 out of 5. This is another fun AoE situation. I'll just run up here and Desolation. Oh, I thought Javelin of Deadly Force was actually coming off low down there, but it was not. Yeah, there is something weird like that. And it looks like I am out of power. Wow, we got all the ads done, though. So now I need to not use Fierce Resolve. Wow, this is totally messing me up for this fight. Okay, so I actually have to stay in ranged and applied 2 more bleeds, I think. And back to ranged. It's pretty much how things go with on the Warden. I know a lot of people use different add-ons and stuff to track debuffs, which would be very helpful in a fight like this. Right now I'm basically just hoping that all my bleeds actually finish, because I don't want to put a bleed on an enemy when they already have that same bleed from the range stance, specifically because of Shattered Javelins. I don't want Shattered Javelins to trigger from the Barbed Javelin bleed. So I only want to apply the bleed again once it's finished ticking. So that's basically the big thing to keep track of with the Yellow Line Warden, at least the Shattered Javelins build that I play with it. Oops, I did not mean to take all those screenshots. I was meaning to press my delete key. Here is the chest. Or are you looking for the other one, which is the body? I cannot open it. Let's see, it looks like I probably still need to loot the body. Oh, maybe I already did. Doesn't have any icon opening up, but it still might let me loot it. Yeah, it still let me loot it. I don't think anybody is going to be able to loot the chest, unfortunately. Somebody mentioned these chests might be level 105. If y'all been... I vote Icy Crevice. I agree with Glor. Ill Omens Skirmish. We're doing that, so I need, as far as Ill Omens go, complete skirmish assaults. Oh, I have to actually turn in the quest. I was like, I should have completed some. Or I have to actually complete the quest, and that only counts as one. Okay. Jacob Rivera, you were wondering how much of the game is available as free-to-play, and that is one of the biggest criticisms of LOTRO, I think, from people that haven't already been playing a while. So new players, basically, is there is not too much open free-to-play. There is a lot you can get as a free-to-play player, but compared to other games, nowadays at least, there is not all that much. So you can get up to about level 30. And the way that works is you get the different zones, the quests to do in the zones, basically. That is a... okay, that's a lieutenant. It's a Primordial Wrath. Primordial, yeah, Wrath. I was like, I thought it was called something other than Wrath, but it is called the Wrath. I don't know what's going on with my game. This has been basically my experience tonight. But yeah, you get the Bree, the Shire, Era of the Wind, and the Lonelands, which is enough content to get about level 30, but if you play an alt or two and completely complete the zones and do all the zones in them, you can get a decent amount of LOTRO points and enough to buy another zone, essentially, which would technically be free to play. It would be a little bit more grinding than just doing the quest. Even just doing the quest, you might be able to afford another zone. I don't know exactly. Here I am about to run out of power again, so I'll go ahead and just have the Dark Before Dawn prepped. We are getting ready to face the Primordial Wrath. Oh, I had it prepped, but it took us so long to get him pulled that it went away. Oh, so Jacob, you got a bunch of the quests unlocked with that code. Yeah, that gives you a whole lot. The code gives you, yeah. It gives you all the quest packs up to before War of the Three Peaks, basically. War of Three Peaks, War of the Three Peaks. But that aside, it gets you all but the expansion content up to that point. So you get 1 to 50 with that. And then you get a level 60 to 65 zone. Then you get a 70 to 75 zone. And kind of filling in the gaps there would be the expansions. And then after the 70 to 75 zone, you get a level 85 zone. And then you get 95 to 105. And then you get one... I have no idea how I'm using precise throw or whatever I'm using there that I should not be using, basically. I don't know how I keep ending up using that so much. I don't actually want to hit that thing. I want to be targeting the Brood Queen right now. And then 115 to, or 105 to 115 would be Mordor. So you'd also have 115 to 120, and then you would have 130. And that's what it would unlock you. So a few things to fill in with the expansions that it would not unlock you. And without that, you would... Uh-oh. I was standing... I forgot we even had a Frigid Squall. We had a Frigid Squall. There's this whole thing early in the stream about that, but he just defeated everything. That was a wipe. Somebody might have lived. There's still a Beorning fighting and a Hunter. I thought everybody died. Maybe not. Maybe somebody lived. I don't know. I'm actually curious as I'm going to rewind the stream a minute just to see. Oh yeah, everybody died. Wow. So, were you the only one that lived there, Jimmy? Survived that? Okay. Sounds like the Beorning also did live. I did not see that. I actually just played back the stream and I thought everybody was dead except Capo. Good resistance. Let's see. Yeah, it did. Yeah, I saw. See the other Hunter staying far away as well. I'm going to stay at my maximum range. That is what I did in Attack at Dawn. So that is what I'm going to do right now. Oh no, he's running to me. I guess he just has to give everybody a little bit of the cold love there. See, there he did his thing at everybody in that range. That is what I avoided in Attack at Dawn again this time, but it just like one-shots people. I think some people in here might have enough mitigations to survive it, like the Guardian, and maybe even the Beorning there, or guess you could get lucky and resist it. Yeah, there's another one way in the back there. Or is that? No, that's not a Frigid Squall. Never mind. So the whole too bad thing, that was about somebody used fire here. I don't know if they forgot they're in cold weather, or maybe they use the fire because it's cold. Oh. This really does behave like the Frigid Squall. It does do an AoE attack, but I don't think it's quite the same. Although I'm going to run away to be careful, but it died anyway. Alright, I'm not even going to actually bother with using the bad stuff from the range dance this time. I'll just get it hit with the melee bleeds early on here. I still need to run Dome of Stars Tier 2 challenge on this character. Oh, I'm in melee stance. I was like, oh, they didn't get the Ranger's Hounding Challenge debuff. And I was in melee stance. That is why I also noticed Fierce Resolve or I don't remember what I used. Should have used Exaltation of Battle before Fierce Resolve, but it could have been some issue with that. But anyway, that one did not trigger. Okay, the Hawk-Eyed Harrier hit me for 21k, and then I got hit for 16k, and that is enough to kill me. So that's what happened right there that I died. These Garden totems. There we go. I don't know why I was trying to use goad with that to hit those little wolf totems. And then they summon, I guess, this Garden, Crantor. Wow, that killed me right back from the dead. So the Minstrel, the heals get pretty crazy when you get the imbued allies and the tactical healing rating and all that from them. So the Minstrel heals the Guardian for like 34k in one heal. That sounds like, or somebody else I guess could have done it. We had the Baron Ring or whatever, but yeah, that would heal me all the way up to max from 0 or 1 health. And Vulgar TG, you said you gotta run, and thanks for the stream. Well, thank you for joining this stream. And next time could be a very interesting stream. And that is where I will leave it. I don't know what I'm going to do in the next stream actually, but could be something interesting going on during it. I don't even know when my next stream will be actually. What game am I doing these? Something damaging. Is that the one? That is the one that went away, it looks like. I feel like I picked a bad day to play Warden because I really just feel like stretching back and watching things unfold, which is the opposite of a Warden. Some classes you have a little bit of downtime, like inductions or something, where I can actually lean back in my chair and stretch like this. But I don't know why, but that's what I feel like doing today. I think that's why my gameplay has been a little bit off. It's just taking like random breaks where I'm not really doing all that much. This is going to be a very interesting final boss fight for the skirmish. So it's for the, what did we do it? The Fellowship or 3-man version or something? That is okay, I think we're getting the counterattack. I'm just making sure since the Harbinger appeared. I don't eat red M&Ms though. Oh, somebody actually res me. I was going to run back just because it's so easy in skirmishes, but waited there. So Jacob, the Warden, is weird. I would say it more of a hybrid melee slash range. The range spec for the build that I'm using used to be very bad, but it has slowly been buffed, where there's actually a few good things about it now. So it is the specific build I am using that makes it range. They have a range stance, which you have in any spec you play actually. You can even be a range tank if you want. The problem is a lot of mobs will run to you in melee, but you can be in the range stance in the tank spec and range tank. But setting that aside, the specific build I am using, I am in the range stance a lot, so I am ranged, but I also enter melee stance sometimes in this. With the build other people use, sometimes, with the outline Warden, they're actually in melee stance even more. So even though they use the range stance and go in range, like I am, kind of doing the same stuff I'd be doing now. That's why I'd consider almost more of a hybrid melee slash ranged with the specific build I'm using, because like right now I'm in melee. I'm putting all my melee ranged damage over time abilities on the enemy, and now I'm going to switch back to AoE. And before I do this, I want to use that skill. Actually, I feel like I'm doing a decent job putting my dots on the enemy, and I say that as all the ads die. That's what I was just preparing for, to burst down all the ads. So I probably actually want to be back in range. Didn't hit him with all that much. Oh, and he feared me. See, I don't know what bleeds I have on him right now, so I'll probably... Actually, I should use this guy. Dark Before Dawn. Then I don't know what bleed I need to put on him, but I need to at least use some sort of range skill. I just need to wait for Seize the Moment procs right now. And I know I need to use Range Resounding Challenge, so that'll be my next step. And now I actually got all my bleeds on him. Actually worked out pretty well. And hello, Ivan Stainer. Probably that skill. Then I actually don't want to switch back to ranged yet. It's kind of one problem. I have to wait for the bleeds from the ranged stance to go away before I use them again. Okay, so I think that's been enough time, but I really don't know. And I probably should have used Dark Before Dawn instead, but it doesn't matter too much. I'm not really worried about running out of power right at the moment. Oh, I didn't get Seize the Moment proc. Oh well. I feel like I'm doing a little bit better this fight, so I just thought I'd try to keep that up, but I missed my trying to get the Seize the Moment proc, so that's going to mess up the melee a little bit. It's actually not going too bad overall though. And Ivan Stainer, you said you're just dropping by to say hi, and how's the gameplay going? The game is going pretty well, the skirmishes. The gameplay, I have been a little bit slow and off with the Warden, which is okay. At least from my perspective, it is okay. There's just been some fights where I could have done a little bit better, and early on I was having some mispress issues and a little bit of lag, but that aside, it hasn't really been too bad. I'm just making a little bit of a big deal out of it for, I don't really know the reason, but I guess just that I could be doing better, and I know that. So I feel like I should be doing better, but I'm just a little bit slow today. Oh, this Drake really didn't want us eating that bear. Yeah, I really like bear for dinner. I wonder, there's gotta be people that eat like bear meat, right? I mean in real life, not just in the game. It actually sounds... I don't know, I would say that sounds gross to me, but I like other meats, so... I have no idea what game it's. This is the exact example of a type of fight where I'm just like not paying too much attention, so... I feel like I keep applying the same bleeds. I actually don't even see any new of my dots going throughout the fight after a while there. I don't even think I used any of the melee bleeds. But anyway, this is probably going to be one of the more challenging things we have done this entire set of skirmishes. We got the Harbinger, which is the important thing, but it'd still be nice to get the actual skirmish raid done on tier 3 for the last boss. So there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. We'll get counter attacks and lieutenants with the, not counter attacks, but we'll get lieutenants. We'll get a bunch of ads throughout the fight and lieutenants. And one issue that can sometimes pop up is you get a Priest of Vengeance, which makes enemies reflect, which basically when I ran this somewhat recently, I don't remember when it was, a week or two ago, it caused a lot of issues. Basically the reflect, like I'd instantly die from it, and there was another Warden with us. It was actually Capo playing his Warden and not his Beorning, but anyway, that's just one problem that can arise, but it is a messy fight. And I think we have a pretty good composition for our group, actually. We have the Beorning, who has a lot of AoE heals, which will be useful here because it'll be such a chaotic mess. We also have Minstrel Healer. Don't know the other Minstrel if they're DPS or healer or whatever. And apparently we need to drop puddles. But yeah, I think a lot of people also aren't too familiar with familiar with doing this in the raid. So it sounds like when the boss becomes active, we need to droop up. This increases incoming and outgoing healing. So I want to be in here to increase my melee ranged and tactical damage because I'm at max health, so I don't need to worry about getting healed right now. This damaging effect. This token of rage. Oops. I actually did not mean to that. But yeah, this fight I'm actually going to try to pay attention to my gameplay a little bit more. Somebody has an eye above their head, which probably isn't a great thing. Use Brink of Victory, and then I think I can switch back to range. One problem with doing a fight like this is I'm honestly too used to playing Redline. I'll end up staying in the melee stance probably longer than I should. But I think we need to group up now. And I have some sort of eye. 6 seconds stun, okay. Don't see an actual eye icon above my head, but I had one that was going to apply a stun. There we go, we all got killed. I don't know what that was. Again, there's so much stuff going on with the fight and I really have no idea. That was... Oh, that's that same thing that one-shot me. It's a... yeah, it's the same thing, I think, when we were running the 3-man version of this that just one-shot me, Winter's Curse. It sounds like Cray had somebody drop. They have absolutely no confidence in us trying to get past that. And he didn't have much confidence in us. Oh, you can click this carcass again? That has been used too recently. Wow. This is a comfy bed. Actually, the bear, it's not even like squishing down. It's probably frozen. It's like rock hard ice. Just bear. Did I take the screenshots with my UI up and not hidden? Anyway. I thought that was pretty neat that you could actually do that, lay on the bear like that. I almost stepped, I don't know exactly when it activates, but I almost stepped in too far, I think. I wonder if the LOTRO wiki, sometimes they have stuff. I could even see anywhere else. I see crevice, raid, LOTRO. Oh, there's a lot of threads on the LOTRO forum about that from like 10 years ago. Yeah, I randomly saw just a bunch of threads from the LOTRO forums like 10 years ago about it. Yeah, the LOTRO wiki does not give. Sometimes on old encounters like that, LOTRO wiki will have some good walkthroughs, basically, with that. Let's see, so there's actually a thread on the LOTRO forums that has a little bit of strategy for the group version. And unless the fight has changed, which I almost doubt it has, even though it's been almost 10 years. It's actually been more like 9 years and 3 months, but it's not really too important. But basically, so the ads can hit pretty hard with the buff, so we know that, but we're getting one shot. Okay, so it sounds like Bergs and Lore Masters mez the boss. Healers on the vents, tanks trying to lead the ads to the events so we can kill them. So kill the ads without anyone dying. Okay, so I missed a little bit of that, but I was reading some strategy for this and it sounds like you can mez the boss and he won't do his thing maybe? Sorry if that's what you just said. Oh. Apparently that is what somebody just said, but as I was reading it and saying it out loud, I totally missed what they were talking about. That was exactly it. Yeah, it sounds like a burglar, which would be Sabers right here. They're our Mezzer. We don't have a Lore Master. He will have to keep up Brittle on this boss. It's kind of weird that you could actually mez him. It would be a little bit weird because bosses usually aren't. But it sounds like, according to the LOTRO forums and somebody in the Discord that was saying that while I was reading that, that is the strategy for this. I wish you could turn the skirmish soldiers, turn the little green thing off from under them. It makes screenshots, group screenshots like this just look a little bit better. But it's also good to have an indicator that they're skirmish soldiers and not, well, one, enemies, but also not actual players, non-NPCs. Let's see, token of ice. So we'll put, I'm actually going to put this down at last. Oh, it lasts 20 seconds, so that's probably not the most useful. But I will stay here for this fight. And the ads are going to come out, which is very scary. And I don't know why I'm using that, but that is what I decided to use, apparently. Oh, apparently the trap actually worked on the elephant there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put the token of ice. Let's see, got a bunch of these tokens. Greater Emblem of Wrath. Bonus to melee offense, that would be nice. And then I wonder for incoming healing if it would be good to stand on these cracks here. So apparently that is the strategy. The boss was successfully mezzed. I wonder... Fragile form? There's red circles where these shields are, but I don't know if they actually do anything. And I'm using a lot of bad skills right now. I'm paying more attention to the effects than what's going on with my skill bar. For anybody wondering on what's actually going on with what I'm doing gameplay-wise. So now I'm actually trying to do some useful stuff, basically. All these red shields, I don't think anybody here has any idea what they actually do. Oh, I think I died, but not from his big hit. I did get hit for 47k at the end. Let's see. Oh, he still used Winter's Curse. I think he woke up, but then was not... Oops, somebody res me. Oh. I was not expecting to get a res there. Okay, let's get this Chaos Fiend. Hopefully we can get a res for the tank. That would be good. It looks like they did get the boss crowd controlled mezzed again. Okay, I have back roll on a lot of things. Hello, Alex Matsuka. Okay, I'm going to go here. We still had a minstrel out very briefly. They already used a lot of combat reses, but that would have been interesting. We made a lot of progress. The boss went down like that much health, but we made a lot of progress compared to last time. We actually got the first wave of ads mostly down. Wonder... Yeah, Ivan, this is tough, and particularly that Winter's Curse. That is basically a one-shot, as in it does quite a bit more than my max morale. Some people, like our tank Jimmy, and maybe even the captain, for example, could survive that. Can survive one hit of that, but in general, it is a wipe, and that is why we need to keep him mezzed. And I don't know what happens when the ads die. If you keep him stun locked somehow. Better not go too far into here. And now, for good support, My cat has joined me on the desk. When I have my face cam set up, maybe y'all can see that. This is actually, so I have two cats for anybody that doesn't know. They're both orange cats. And a little bit odd, they're both females, but usually there is one, the bigger one, that comes up on the desk and gets in the way during streams or during LOTRO playtime. But this time, and more recently, it's actually been the little one, the skinny one. So, Ivan, you asked if we need more tank over damage or healing over tank or whatnot. I think it's more about mechanics, not necessarily more tanks, more healing. We have a Warden healing. At least I hope he's still in healing. If we have Mark of Grimbeorn on somebody, we know who's healing. But it's mainly about crowd controlling the boss. That is the first priority. After that, we just need really one person to tank all the ads. One problem with the Warden is I have a tendency to get aggro, one because of my damage, but two because I am ranged and I can hit a lot of things in AoE, so it can be a little bit hectic for a tank, especially a single tank, to try to get aggro on everything over like me. And I didn't even get that much aggro until the tank died. So that was a little bit of an issue there. And then, yeah, the healing, I think we're good otherwise. Having more damage would never be a bad thing. I don't know if we need more damage either. We actually have a pretty good setup here. The only, I guess, one thing that could be a little bit better is, well, we only have 11 people right now, so I would take a Lore Master if we had the choice of one more, just so we could have a backup crowd control. Yeah, the burglar, he is 100% on the boss, just sitting there basically waiting to mess him, crowd control him. And otherwise, we are focused on the big elephant Mumak guy over here. Greater Emblem of Wrath grants you a bonus to melee offense for a short time if you do not move too far away. Okay, let's put that right here. What is the bonus? 25% melee damage, wow. I did not expect it to be that much. These are actually kind of strong. Token of the Fist will affect my enemy with a penalty to melee offense, so that's an example of something I'd want to use on the ads when they come out. A lot of them are ranged and it's a little bit messy, but wow. I don't need to stay ranged here, and I totally messed everything up, so I'm just going to reset into melee. And enough lag that I missed Control 3, but that's okay. Okay, now I want to be ready for ranged combat. The ad should be coming out any moment here, and here's the burglar. There's Sabers, actually. He is getting ready for the boss. And then we are going to get ready for the ads. I'll go ahead and drop this thing. We have a giant drake doing an induction as soon as they spawn. So the tank has to kite this Leadfoot Brood around. I wonder if I can slow him. Usually mobs like that are immune to slow, but yeah, he's immune to slow. Yeah, I had aggro on too many things. Wow. Yeah, I think that situation, I was just hitting so many things in the tank. This would have been a fight where a second tank actually could have been useful. So the second tank could have taken all the ads while the main tank here, or even the second tank, could have gotten the Leadfoot Brute. You need to kite this guy because he does like one shot's worth of damage, I think, is the way that goes. Plus 500% melee damage. So yeah, that's his big thing. You need to kite him around since he does so much damage. And then he wasn't able to get like aggro on all the ads, especially the ranged ones that I was just hitting and had all those dots on. All that damage. That's probably, I wonder if I could have gone even slower with the DPS for lower damage overall. Elephant or mammoth? That is a good question because they are very different. I think Oiliphants and Mumax, that is more of the question. And I think that is a Mumak, which would be like a mammoth. And yeah, he is plus 500% damage, which is pretty tough. But I think a lot of people left, so we are done with that. But we completed the...
Dwarves must fight for dwarves.
Let's see, I'm going to go to a skirmish camp. I need to go to Southbury. What is the best way there? Actually, I think the best way to Southbury is to go to Galtrav and then Southbury. Yeah, the 500%, it's more of the mechanic with the Leadfoot Brute. Normally, he is not that much of a problem in like regular skirmish situation, but specifically in that end boss fight there, he was like extra tough. Because of all the other things going on.
Will you remain here long?
But yeah, I think we are done for today. I've been going with this stream almost 2.5 hours. I might, as I kind of wrap things up, do a little bit more of the quest turning in and all that. Let me see if anybody is still on. But I need to get my first stage LI, or LIs on this character, which is exciting. And I will have to have somebody craft them for me. I probably won't do all the setup with that tonight. I'll wait to do that another stream on this character, or do it just in some downtime. But got one of these Skirmish Assault Treacherous Wilds done.
Is there something I can do for you?
So Jacob Rivera, that is a tough question if red line is better for a solo warden, because yellow line can be better. In general, red line is good though. You can't really go wrong with red line. I would recommend the blue line if you're doing tough content that you need a little bit more survivability for. Bat Orals, I probably don't want that. Probably want the Ill Omens Hound. That sounds like a fun thing to me. I only need 18 more tokens of the Ill Omens. Yeah, that looks like the most interesting thing to me, just based off of the name, the Ill Omens Hound. Make sure I wouldn't want one of these cloaks. Cloak's not that bad looking, but I don't think I would want that. Yeah, I'd have to go with a particular outfit, one that's kind of darker gray, blackish. And Ivan, thank you for joining the stream, and of course being a channel member, a level 7 member on 2 of your channels. I definitely appreciate that all, and have a good night. Thank you. I was hoping I could get a second first stage symbol, but it doesn't look like... I did get that before I got level 100, so I'll probably get the Roving Threats Barter. I do have to check one thing, because I might want to craft out first stage items. Let me tell him I'll do that in a few minutes. Other than... It always feels weird when I'm just typing during a stream, because I'm just like sitting here. I don't know how loud it is. I feel like I've done enough audio upgrades that it's not as loud as it used to be, and not super like... It's probably... I feel like I shouldn't do this, but if I like tap the mic there, kind of that deeper rumble. Hopefully that didn't bother anybody, but just to show maybe, I don't even know if that is what it sounded like, but reinforced walnut boards. Oh, I have 3 logs of walnut wood. Emerald shards. That seems a little bit weird that it's emerald for 100, and also not poplar. Not poplar wood. It might be west of that. I would have thought that it was Anorian that made the first stagers for level 100, but maybe not. I feel like that sentence, that question was structured very poorly. Is it west of net these recipes are? Alright, so he needs at least 2 emerald shards, but I will wait on that. It's mainly the walnut boards. I'm not sure if I can get those, but maybe I'll have those on another character, but that's not really important right now. What I want to do... Actually, I'll probably wait on that. I was thinking about quickly doing that, but I feel like this is a good wrap-up point for the stream. For a little bit of info for... what I will be doing. Let me actually check something while I do that, so I at least have something to do other than sit at the skirmish camp while doing this outro. Tomorrow, I'm not sure if I will have anything. I probably need to take tomorrow mostly off and do some preparing and some recording maybe. But I am hoping to have a certain video on Friday that should be exciting. And it may hopefully involve a webcam. I'm hoping that's Friday, but it could be a little bit later. Where do I need to go? Where's a good place to go for this? I know, Estelden. So hopefully I can have that on Friday. And then otherwise, there are a few videos I want to start getting towards doing. That was a very pretty picture of the lake in the southeast part of North Downs. It's more of the northeast part of Bree, actually, but I think that was probably the view of Ninharn from North Downs. Anyway, that was just nice looking on the loading screen. I think it's a not too popular lake, but definitely looks nice. It's kind of very out of the way is one problem with it. But anyway, yeah, I'll probably do some sort of LOTRO news. We'll probably also have that this weekend that I should have time this weekend, actually, a relatively not too busy weekend. Main busyness is tomorrow and Friday and today. That's why I feel like the stream has also been a little bit off. I don't know off with the content, but my gameplay more with the Warden, just a little bit lazy with it just because I've been so busy today.
Could I speak with you a moment? What can I do?
So that's what's been going on there. So the Scroll of Empowerment, it costs 10 of those. So it's basically 5 Scrolls of Empowerment versus 1 first stage. So I will get the first stage. And just because I have the symbol, I will actually use that. So I need an Unearthed Warden something or other. Actually could just get an Unearthed Warden Spear and an Unearthed Warden Javelin and save the symbol. I think I'll do that. I was thinking the reason I wasn't going to do this at first was because I thought it'd be more efficient to just get Scrolls of Empowerment from the roving threats. But considering I can use the first stage symbol, I could even sell it and get more Scrolls of Empowerment. I could get almost 10 Scrolls of Empowerment for the gold I would get from symbols. So it'd be more efficient for that, but also my Runekeeper could use their first stage Rune Bag, which you cannot get from this, for the first stage symbol, or even an alt. So he was asking the person that was going to craft the weapons for me if they were the same stat-wise. Anyway, just to fully answer him. One thing I'm curious is the cosmetics. These are kind of ugly, to be honest. They're very basic looking for stage weapons, but that is what we get. So I do want a spear and javelin. As many people like to point out, technically the sword is better than the spear, but it's not too much and not enough that I'd rather use a sword. I did use a sword briefly on this character for a little bit just to test it out, but ultimately decided I like the spear better than the sword. So now I have 2 first stage weapons to get ready. Again, I won't do all that this stream. That would take quite a while. I'll probably, if people are interested in that, I will probably actually do that either as a video or a stream. I could do a stream. It'd be a little bit of a weird stream, but of just like setting up my LIs. That would be a little bit interesting. But anyway, as far as this stream goes, I feel like that is a good wrapping up point. I had a lot of fun running the skirmishes. It's been pretty active combat basically the whole time. We had a little bit of breaks here and there, but it was a lot of fighting things, and that was all pretty fun. And it really did kind of wear me out, but that is okay. What did we do? We did Attack at Dawn, Storm on Methodrist, then Fort of Bruinen, and then the Icy Crevice. Icy Crevice is the only one that we did not get actually completed with the skirmish, but we got the Ill Omens done on all of them. Didn't run into any issues of not having access to these skirmishes, unlike last time we tried this, which I think was last Wednesday. But anyway, as far as the stream goes and all that, I hope you all enjoyed it as well. And if you did, please consider liking and subscribing for more, or becoming a channel member to support the content, which I do plan to update the channel memberships at some point soon. And thanks for joining and chatting and all the questions and watching, everyone.